Romantic Tales. Chapter 63. Ah! The woman exclaimed. She pulled down the dress that was covering Yang Ming's head and covered her body with it tightly. Rogue. Rogue. Yang Ming's mind was still filled with the image of the sexy black laced underwear. When he suddenly heard the woman yell pervert, he realized that it was directed at him. Yang Ming quickly stood up and looked at the woman in front of him. To be exact, it should be a young woman. The young woman was about 28 or 29 years old, or maybe she was in her 30s. Women nowadays generally take good care of themselves, making it impossible to figure out their true age. Perhaps because of proper maintenance, her skin was whiter and more tender than ordinary girls. There was no sign of the general 30-year-old woman in her twilight years, let alone an old woman. The young woman's dress was simple and elegant. She wore a decent light black professional dress and didn't wear a single piece of jewelry. But it made people feel very noble. Looking at the young woman in front of him, even Yang Ming, who dealt with beautiful women all day long, couldn't help but drool and his heart beat faster. Indeed, Qin Mengyan and Zhao Ying are both first-class beauties. However, Qin Mengyan is slightly young and inexperienced, and Zhao Ying can only be regarded as a young girl. But the young woman in front of him is the one who can really attract men and make men's male hormones get an instant stimulation. Women at this age are the most interesting and the most irresistible. So after Yang Ming's eyes locked on her body, he could no longer move away. No wonder the number of mature woman films on the internet is always more than other categories. What are you looking at? The young woman saw that Yang Ming was caught under her skirt. Not only did he not have the slightest guilt, but he also kept staring at her. Moreover, his eyes seemed to be looking at her breasts. That beautiful sister, I'm sorry. When I got up, I didn't see you behind me. Yang Ming said with some embarrassment. Didn't see? If you didn't see it just now, then what are you doing now? The young woman was very upset with Yang Ming's wretched gaze. She felt that it could penetrate her clothes. Little rogue, you are not old, but your courage is not small. You haven't even grown your hair yet and you come out to flirt with a beauty. Do you believe that I will call the police to arrest you? Yang Ming listened to the young woman's words and was a little unhappy. I have already apologized to you and I didn't mean it. Aren't you looking for trouble? Yang Ming was not a good-tempered person. If the person in front of him was not a beauty, Yang Ming would have slapped her. So he said with some annoyance, "What's wrong with a beauty? Let me tell you, if it wasn't for your looks, I wouldn't have bothered to talk to you." Auntie? You. The young woman was choked by Yang Ming's words. In the beginning, when she heard him say that she was a beauty, the young woman was quite happy. But the more she listened, the more uncomfortable it became. Not only did he say that his girlfriend was prettier than her, but he also called her auntie. Although Xiaoqing was already 30 years old this year, she would be a woman in her 40s after her birthday, but no one had ever called her auntie. Who didn't say that she was a 20-year-old girl when they met her? That kid actually called her auntie. She really couldn't bear it. She wanted to scold him, but she didn't expect this kid to turn around and leave. Forget it, I won't lower myself to the level of a little kid. Xiaoqing comforted herself. She didn't know that when she called him a little kid, didn't it obviously mean that she was much older than Yang Ming? If she wasn't an auntie, then what was? Yang Ming got off the elevator and went to the agreed place to wait for Qin Mengyan. As soon as he went down the stairs, Yang Ming saw that Qin Mengyan had already been waiting for him at the exit. So fast. Yang Ming quickly quickened his pace and walked over. Yeah, I came to buy this set of books. I came down after I bought it. Qin Mengyan raised the book bag in her hand, then took out a few books and handed them to Yang Ming. This set is for you. For me? Yang Ming was stunned. He took the book in Qin Mengyan's hand. It turned out to be the latest trend of the college entrance examination. Yes, I asked you to buy it just now, but you didn't go. You this person, if I didn't watch you study every day, wouldn't you learn by yourself? Qin Mengyan glared at Yang Ming. Yang Ming knew that Qin Mengyan obviously misunderstood him. She thought that his perfunctory behavior was to avoid studying. But only Yang Ming himself knew that his current results came entirely from the magical contact lenses. Whether he did the exercise book or not, it wouldn't have any effect on his results. But since Qin Mengyan bought it for him, Yang Ming could only force a smile and accept it. How much is it? I will give it to you. No need, just treat it as a gift from me. Qin Mengyan waved her hand indifferently and said, Go back and do it seriously. If you don't know how to do it, you can find me. No problem. Yang Ming didn't show any special expression on his face, but his heart was full of emotions. Qin Mengyan didn't ask for money. He didn't know if it was because they had a good relationship, or because she wanted to return the favor of the hair clip in the morning. But Yang Ming couldn't ask, but at least he could be sure that Qin Mengyan really cared about him and it was for his own good. Or else she wouldn't have bought this set of exercise books for him. Thinking about this, Yang Ming felt more relaxed. Everything has to be done step by step. Now it was better than before. At least a month ago, Qin Mengyan would never go to the bookstore with him and buy books for him. What book did you buy? Qin Mengyan glanced at the book in Yang Ming's hand when they went out to check the stamp. Beginner's Guide to Lip Reading? Introduction to Sign Language? Yang Ming, is this the book that your dad asked you to buy? Yeah. Yang Ming was a bit embarrassed. After all, this book was too weird. Normal people wouldn't buy it. Is there a deaf mute in your family? Qin Mengyan had a weird expression. Oh, it's like this. My dad's company is going to act in a play and it might involve this kind of content. I'm not very sure. As Yang Ming said this, he prayed in his heart. If one day Qin Mengyan really becomes the daughter-in-law of the Yang family, please don't ask my dad. Fortunately, Qin Mengyan was only curious, but she wasn't very interested. After listening to Yang Ming's explanation, she didn't say anything. Chapter 64. Finally, the 114 bus arrived. The two of them got on the bus together. Since it wasn't the starting station, there were a lot of people on the bus. It was almost the same as when they came. Yang Ming had just bought the book and found 2 yuan of change. He directly put it into the coin slot. What Yang Ming didn't notice was that the young woman he met in the bookstore also got on the bus. But neither of them saw the other. Beautiful women on the bus were always eye-catching. Moreover, some obscene men who had nothing to do always liked to stay on the crowded bus and act as bus sex fiends. They specifically looked for beautiful women who were alone. Such women were often silent in the face of obscene men. The more they acted like this, the more arrogant they became. Even if they reprimanded them, they would use the reason that because there were a lot of people on the bus, it was inevitable that there would be physical contact between people. Therefore, the parties could only suffer in silence. Although Qin Mengyan got on the bus with Yang Ming, because she was too beautiful, there was an obscene man who couldn't help but want to come over and take advantage of her. So this person desperately squeezed towards Yang Ming. Yang Ming usually saw this kind of thing. Naturally, it was easy for him to discover the intention of the obscene man. The position where he and Qin Mengyan were standing wasn't the door. If there was nothing, who would try to squeeze over here? That person seems to have bad intentions towards you. Yang Ming reminded in a low voice. How do you know? Qin Mengyan didn't notice the obscene man. I knew it when I saw his expression. Yang Ming frowned. Let's change places. You go in front of me. You know so clearly. Do you often do this? Qin Mengyan rolled her eyes at Yang Ming. Yang Ming didn't speak again because he saw the person squeezing over here. Why are you squeezing? You are taking advantage of me. A girl with heavy makeup was squeezed by the obscene man and complained with some displeasure. Who squeezed you? It's not like you did it on purpose. Look at your face. The man was a little unhappy with the girl's words. Originally, he wanted to take advantage of Qin Mengyan, but because of the girl's shouting, it was difficult to do it. It would be fine if she was really good-looking, but this chick's foundation was really too bad. Even with makeup, she still looked like a ghost. Come on. Look at that lecherous look of yours. You don't look like a good person. The little girl didn't give up and scolded. The man didn't want to waste his breath on her, so he shut his mouth and pretended not to hear her. At this time, he had already squeezed behind Yang Ming and was about to reach out his hand in the direction of Qin Mengyan. It was just that Yang Ming was in front of him, so it was not easy to make a move. Yang Ming was worried that he didn't know how to teach this guy a lesson. He didn't expect that the girl would make the first move. So Yang Ming had a good opportunity to add fuel to the fire. With a decision, Yang Ming slowly reached his hand in the direction of the girl. Because there were many people on the bus, it was difficult to distinguish the direction by feeling. But Yang Ming was different. Yang Ming directly used his X-ray vision and easily found the position of the girl. Then he pinched her butt. Hey, the feeling is not bad. If you don't look at the face, the body is still first class. Ah! The girl suddenly shouted and glared at the obscene man. She reached out and gave him a big slap. You rogue. The obscene man was stunned by the sudden slap. It took him a long time to react. Fuck your mother, stinky bitch, why did you hit me? Hit you? I still want to send you to the police station. The girl shouted, why did you pinch my butt? Pinch your butt? Are you kidding me? Do you think I'm blind? The obscene man retorted loudly. Don't say those useless words. If you have anything to say it at the police station. Driver, stop the car. The girl shouted without fear. The obscene man had some doubts in his heart. He estimated that he may have a record in the police station. When he heard that the girl was serious, he immediately withered. At this time, the bus just happened to arrive at the next stop. The obscene man cursed psycho and hurriedly got off the bus. Don't let me see you again. The girl was like a victorious rooster. She proudly snorted. The other passengers beside her all moved to the side in unison, afraid to provoke her. Only Yang Ming saw the obscene man get off the bus. His mouth revealed a smile. See, I said that this guy is not a good person. You guessed right, but his target is not me. Chen Mengyan whispered. Didn't you see that he squeezed over? If I didn't block you, maybe he would have succeeded. Yang Ming lowered his voice and said, do you think he has such bad taste? As he said this, he glanced at the girl with heavy makeup. You mean? Chen Mengyan thought for a moment. Then she saw the strange smile on Yang Ming's face. She instantly understood what was going on. She glanced at Yang Ming and said, you are quite bad. What do you mean bad? I am resourceful. Yang Ming retorted. Did you feel good? Chen Mengyan suddenly asked. The feeling was not bad. Yang Ming replied casually. But when he said this, he felt that something was wrong. He quickly changed his words. At that time, I was thinking about getting rid of the obscene man. I didn't think so much. In a hurry, how could I remember the feeling? Chen Mengyan didn't pay attention to him. She frowned and looked away. And what's wrong with you? When Yang Ming saw Chen Mengyan like this, he thought that she was angry with him. He was shocked and quickly asked. Don't talk. Look over there. Chen Mengyan interrupted Yang Ming and whispered. Yang Ming curiously followed Chen Mengyan's gaze and saw a thief using a small knife to cut the backpack of a passenger who had fallen asleep on the seat. When he saw the passenger's face, he was suddenly happy. Isn't this the auntie who scolded me in the bookstore? It's true that good will be rewarded with good and evil will be punished with evil. It's not that it's not time yet, it's just not time yet. Hee hee, you got your retribution so quickly. Chapter 65. What are you doing? The thief tried to pull the knife but realized that it wouldn't budge. He asked with a guilty conscience. Seeing that the sharp knife was about to pierce into Chen Mengyan's shoulder, Yang Ming quickly reached out and grabbed it. Because he was afraid that Chen Mengyan would be accidentally hurt when they were struggling, he clenched his teeth and grabbed the knife. Yang Ming had no choice but to squeeze behind Chen Mengyan. Forget it. Look at those people who are close to them. Each and every one of them has a look of indifference. What can we do to help? Yang Ming said faintly. He actually heard the thief's thoughts. Yang Ming was stunned. What happened? Why is this happening again? But in the current situation, Yang Ming didn't have time to think about it. He couldn't calm down and figure out what was going on. Yang Ming was too lazy to care about him. He stared at him and said, Stay here. If I don't ask you to speak, don't interrupt. The thief didn't realize what was going on. He felt as if he was suddenly in the vast universe. Everywhere in front of him was twinkle, 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 twinkle little stars. Yang Ming, your hand. What happened just now happened in a flash. When the thief gave in, Chen Mengyan recovered from the shock. Seeing that Yang Ming's hand was still bleeding, she couldn't help but feel pain in her heart. It's okay. It's just a small injury. How are you? Yang Ming pretended to be indifferent, but he still frowned secretly. The 10 fingers are connected to the heart. Although it didn't hurt the muscles and bones, it was still very painful. Uncle, I was wrong. Don't hit me. The thief thought that Yang Ming was too senior for him to call him brother, so he quickly changed his words. But Yang Ming, no matter how strong Chen Mengyan's sense of justice was, she was still a 17 or 18-year-old girl. When she saw the knife coming towards her, Chen Mengyan was so scared that she closed her eyes. She subconsciously called out Yang Ming's name. Why are you still laughing? Chen Mengyan saw that Yang Ming was still laughing. She frowned slightly and was somewhat dissatisfied. Blood dripped down from Yang Ming's fingers. The thief was shocked. He didn't expect that someone would grab his knife at this time. Yang Ming actually saw the thief's intention to stab Qin Mengyan. Even if Qin Mengyan didn't shout, he would do it. Yang Ming didn't want to see the woman he liked being hurt in front of him. He didn't want to see such a rubbish thing. Please don't stab her to death, I'm just scaring her. Who asked her to be so troublesome? However, even though she was unwilling, Qin Mengyan actually squeezed through after she finished speaking. She patted the sleeping Xiaoqing and said, "Sister, wake up." "I'm fine." Qin Mengyan nodded with a guilty conscience, but she blamed herself in her heart. Was I too reckless? If it weren't for me, Yang Ming wouldn't be injured. Yang Ming, how can you say that? Qin Mengyan was slightly unhappy. It's because everyone doesn't care that the thief is so rampant. I believe that as long as someone is willing to stand up, the thief will definitely feel guilty. At this time, many passengers on the bus also noticed the thief's behavior. Not only did no one say anything, but they all turned their heads to the side. How can that be? Yang Ming, why don't we think of a way to remind the sister? Qin Mengyan was a little anxious. That's a minority after all. Qin Mengyan was disgusted by Yang Ming's indifference. According to what you said, this society doesn't need to help each other? You really disappoint me. Qin Mengyan immediately panicked. She couldn't care much and shouted, "Catch the thief. Everyone catch the thief." "Hey little girl, you can shout." The thief saw everyone's expression and waved the knife in his hand. He shouted more arrogantly, "I'll let you shout. I'll kill you first." As he said this, he stabbed toward Qin Mengyan. "Who is your brother?" Yang Ming said coldly. Oh. The thief just screamed half a sentence. Yang Ming's next punch hit the thief's cheek, so he couldn't make any sound. Originally, Qin Mengyan thought that as long as she shook the sister awake and gave a little hint, the thief would stop. She didn't expect the thief to threaten her with a knife. But Qin Mengyan's shout didn't make the people around her agree with her. Instead, they hid around and pretended not to hear it. The thief felt pain and immediately let go of the knife in his hand. He covered his eyes with one hand and covered his cheek with the other hand. He said vaguely, "Brother, don't hit me. I was wrong. Brother." The thief was holding a knife in his hand. "I'm not the police, nor the People's Liberation Army. What does catching a thief have to do with me? I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing." Yang Ming quickly stopped smiling and made a serious expression. Who asked her to sleep on the bus? She can only blame it on her bad luck. Man, it's not easy to be a hero in this era. Didn't you see the news often reported? On a bus somewhere, a thief was caught. The thief was caught with the stolen goods. In the end, because the passenger who lost the item was afraid that the thief would take revenge on him in the future, he firmly refused to admit that he lost the item. Yang Ming said softly, "In the end, under the helpless eyes of the hero, the thief arrogantly walked away." Yang Ming was a little embarrassed by Qin Mengyan's words. He didn't expect Qin Mengyan to have such a sense of justice. However, asking him to help the auntie, Yang Ming was a little reluctant. "What do I want to do? Of course I want to kill you." Yang Ming's other hand that wasn't holding the knife hit the thief's left eye hard. However, when he heard that Qin Mengyan could call his name in a critical moment, Yang Ming was very happy. It seems that Qin Mengyan's heart has already regarded me as someone who can protect her. "Sister?" Yang Ming glanced at the antique on the seat. If it was another passenger, Yang Ming might have helped her, but now Yang Ming couldn't wait for this antique to be stolen. When the thief saw that Qin Mengyan wanted to ruin his good deed, he was furious. He glared at Qin Mengyan and said in a deep voice, "Don't fucking meddle in other people's business. Be careful that I don't stab you." As he said that, he gestured with the knife in his hand. Chapter 66. The young woman who had her purse cut had already woken up when the thief was yelling, but she didn't expect that the person who taught the thief a lesson was actually the young man she met in the bookstore. She just scolded him as a rogue, but now he helped her. Xiaoqing was really embarrassed to face it. She deliberately lowered her head and prayed that Yang Ming didn't see her face. "Sister, did you lose anything?" Qin Mengyan saw that Xiaoqing woke up and quickly asked. "No, nothing is lost." Xiaoqing had just checked her bag. It was just a cut, but the phone and wallet inside were not lost. "Look after your things. Next time you won't be so lucky to meet us." "Auntie," Yang Ming said faintly. but the word auntie was emphasized. When Xiaoqing heard auntie, she immediately understood that Yang Ming had recognized her. She didn't hide it anymore. She looked at Yang Ming and smiled. Thank you for just now. Originally, Yang Ming wanted to scold her, but when he saw that she took the initiative to show goodwill, he didn't want to be stingy. So he shook his head and said, "It doesn't matter. As long as you don't think that I deliberately approached you." After listening to Yang Ming's words, Xiaoqing blushed. "Yang Ming, do you know each other?" Qin Mengyan heard Yang Ming's slightly sarcastic words and felt a little strange. After all, Xiaoqing was much older than Yang Ming. She was much more tactful. When she heard Qin Mengyan's question, she replied, "Hee, we just had a small misunderstanding in the bookstore. It's not worth mentioning. You are his girlfriend, right? Not bad, you are really beautiful." "We are not in that kind of relationship." Qin Mengyan shook her head with a red face. However, when she said this, she glanced at Yang Ming next to her. Seeing that he didn't show any displeasure, she was relieved. "Sister, you are also very beautiful." "Me? I'm old and I have become an auntie." Xiaoqing deliberately teased. "By the way, Yang Ming, how can you call her auntie? How rude." Qin Mengyan immediately questioned after hearing it. "But, I just said it casually." Yang Ming was a little embarrassed. When the bus arrived at the next stop, 2 police officers boarded the bus. It was probably the driver who had called the police after seeing the thief being subdued. However, this was even better. Yang Ming was still worried about how to deal with this guy. Yang Ming, Qin Mengyan, and Xiaoqing, as the parties involved, were also invited to the police station to make a statement. After getting into the police car, Qin Mengyan looked at Yang Ming's hand worriedly and said to one of the policemen, "Can you send him to the hospital first?" Before the policeman could say anything, Yang Ming said, "There's no need. The cut is not very deep. The bleeding has already stopped." "Let me see." The policeman grabbed Yang Ming's hand and looked at it carefully. "The wound is so long." In the end, Bao Sanli rolled his eyes and said, "Fuck, you can't even beat me and you still want to find trouble with Brother Yang. Brother Yang doesn't need to do anything. I will kill you for him first." "Brother Yang? Which Brother Yang?" The thief didn't realize for a moment that he had offended a great god called Brother Yang during this time. "The one who sent you in." Bao Sanli sneered. "Oh my god, brother, I was wrong." The thief was really regretful at this moment. He didn't expect that Yang Ming was actually a ruthless person. He even had underlings in the detention center. "If I knew that Brother Yang was so ruthless, even if I had the guts, I wouldn't dare to find trouble with him." However, the thief was still not spared. Bao Sanli still beat him up every day in order to make him completely give up. Therefore, the unlucky thief spent the rest of his time on the bed since he entered the detention center except for being beaten up. Therefore, on a bed in this detention center, there was a special moaning sound day and night. When other people passed by, they couldn't help but feel disgusted. Could it be that the legendary Brokeback appeared? Chapter 67. Yang Ming and Qin Mengyan left the police station. At this time they were very familiar with Xiaoqing. "Thank you so much just now." Xiaoqing said very sincerely this time, "In my bag there is a passport that I just got. If it was stolen it would be troublesome." "Passport?" Yang Ming saw that when she was choosing books in the bookstore, she was holding some Korean daily conversation books, so he asked, "Are you going to Korea?" "Yeah, I am going to participate in a friendly exchange between Chinese and Korean international university students in a few days. I need to catch up on my Korean." Xiaoqing smiled. "University student exchange? Sister, are you a university student?" "Oh yes, you should be a graduate student." Qin Mengyan asked with some curiosity. But looking at Xiaoqing's age, she should be a graduate student. "Me? Graduate student? Am I that young? I am the teacher leading the team." Xiaoqing smiled and looked at Yang Ming. Apparently she was still dissatisfied with that auntie. Yang Ming simply pretended not to hear it. He was too lazy to argue with her. On the other hand, Qin Mengyan chatted with her for a while before they separated. Xiaoqing didn't dare to take the bus again, so she waved and stopped a taxi to leave first. Yang Ming and Qin Mengyan returned to the bus stop to continue waiting. In the evening, Yang Ming took out the books that he bought during the day. He put the sign language book into the bookshelf first. He picked up another lip language book and flipped through it. Because the teaching material was the beginner's type, and it was full of pictures of the mouth shapes. Yang Ming didn't have to spend too much effort to read. He just had to make a few mouth shapes in the mirror to understand the parts that he didn't understand. In fact, the biggest difficulty of lip language was to test one's eyesight. If the eyes couldn't keep up, it wouldn't be practical no matter how good one learned it. And Yang Ming had the advantage of eyesight. No matter how far away he was from the speaker, as long as he wanted to see, he could clearly see the speaker's mouth shape. The teaching material wasn't very thick and there wasn't anything profound in it. It was basically just the shape of a few syllables. Although the Chinese language was broad and profound, the pronunciation was nothing more than the combination of the 26 pinyin letters to form over 400 syllables. Therefore, as long as they memorized everything, all that was left was actual combat training. Remembering things wasn't a difficult thing for Yang Ming. Yang Ming's memory was good to begin with, and now that he was remembering things that he was interested in, how could he not be fast? In less than an hour, Yang Ming had finished reading the first chapter. He noticed that there were video practice questions in the textbook. Yang Ming quickly found a VCD. But when he held it in his hand and looked at it carefully, Yang Ming was a little worried. Fuck, it's actually a computer disk. The words on the disk read, for Windows XP/Vista. Yang Ming's living conditions at home weren't very good, so he hadn't bought a computer. It seemed that he had hit a bottleneck. Actually, Yang Ming had wanted to buy a computer for a long time, but his studies weren't good in the past. His parents were afraid that after buying a computer, Yang Ming would be addicted to games and wouldn't study even more. He reckoned that the results of this joint exam were good, so if he requested to buy a computer again, his parents would agree. Thinking of this, Yang Ming went to the living room. His parents were watching the television. When they saw Yang Ming come out, Yang's father immediately said, "Big Ming, how was it? You must be tired from studying, so you came out to relax." Yang Ming was a little ashamed. Although he was studying just now, what he was studying had nothing to do with school. "Dad, I want a computer." Yang Ming hesitated and said, "This way, I can learn about the new trends of the college entrance exam online and download some mock questions from other provinces." When he said this, Yang Ming felt a little unconfident. The main purpose of buying a computer was to learn lip reading and then go online to flirt with beauties. However, Yang's father believed it. He saw Yang Ming's progress during this time, so when Yang Ming said his condition, Yang's father didn't hesitate and nodded. "Okay, I agree. It just so happens that I also got my prize money back. I will bring you to buy it this weekend." Looking at his father's support, Yang Ming really didn't know what to say. If his father knew that he bought a computer for other purposes, he wouldn't know if he would be sad. However, Yang Ming had no other choice. He had to learn lip reading as soon as possible. Last time, because he didn't know how to lip read, Wang Jitao and the others took advantage of the loophole. Yang Ming didn't want to make the same mistake again. At this moment, he could only go against his heart and make a white lie. However, Yang Ming secretly swore that he must be admitted to Songjiang Industry University to win glory for his parents. After the joint examination results were announced, everyone who knew Yang Ming was shocked, including Yang Ming himself. "Wasn't it a little too much? It seems that I have to restrain myself next time." A total score of 703, ranked 9th in the academic year. As a matter of fact, Qin Mengyan only scored 692 points. Zhao Ying looked at Yang Ming's results and didn't know what to say. Although she saw Yang Ming's hard work during this time, wasn't the effort and the result a bit too disproportionate? There were people who worked harder than Yang Ming, but no one was as effective as Yang Ming. "Yang Ming, come to my office," Teacher Li said to Yang Ming. Thus, Yang Ming walked out of the classroom amidst the hypocritical praises. Some of the students in the classroom were jealous, some were envious, but of course there were more who were suspicious. Yang Ming's original results were obvious to all. This time he suddenly became a dark horse. How could people not be suspicious? "Yang Ming, did your little universe explode? From C to B?" Zhang Bin was in disbelief. "How did you copy? Teach me next time." "Go to hell. Didn't you see that my results were the highest in the class? Who am I going to copy?" Although Yang Ming was also copying, he couldn't tell others how to copy. Of course, there were still people who were sincerely happy for Yang Ming and wished him well. This person was Qin Mengyan. Qin Mengyan's mood was very complicated at the moment. When she saw Yang Ming's results, the first thought that came to her mind was that first suitor that Yang Ming mentioned. The second thought was to be happy for Yang Ming. When did I start to care about these things? Chen Mengyan sighed and shook her head. The short girl thought that Wang Jitao was smiling at her, so she quickly showed a shy expression and blinked at Wang Jitao. Zhang Tingting's grades were above average. She wasn't very tall and her looks were average. You couldn't say that she was good-looking or ugly. In short, she was a very average girl. Zhang Tingting had always been secretly in love with Wang Jitao, but Wang Jitao was only interested in Chen Mengyan. That unintentional smile just now made Zhang Tingting think that Wang Jitao had finally noticed her. How could she not be happy? But this time it was Wang Jitao's turn to be depressed, so he quickly turned his head. And when Zhang Tingting saw Wang Jitao turn his head, she thought to herself, men can be shy too. When the homeroom teacher, Teacher Li, saw Yang Ming's results for the first time, she was very surprised. According to her many years of teaching experience, she had never seen a student's results improve so quickly. In the third year of high school, Teacher Li had seen some students who improved at the end, but their results also improved gradually. However, Yang Ming's results were like a rocket launch. Therefore, Teacher Li couldn't help but doubt the authenticity of the results. After that, Teacher Li asked a few more subject teachers. Only Zhao Ying was very sure that Yang Ming's math results were real. The other teachers expressed their doubts. This was because although Yang Ming worked hard, his results improved too much. Zhao Ying was very sure that Yang Ming's results were real because of her trust in Yang Ming. However, the main reason was because before the exam she gave Yang Ming a very similar set of test papers. Yang Ming followed Teacher Li to the office and found that all the subject teachers were there. Yang Ming was slightly stunned and smiled bitterly in his heart. It seemed that this time he really played too much and made all the teachers have doubts about his results. But why was Zhao Ying also here? When Yang Ming looked at Zhao Ying shrugged helplessly, indicating that it was none of her business. Yang Ming, do you know why I called you here? Teacher Li sat in front of the desk and said directly. This was a common trick used by all the teachers. No matter if the student made a mistake or not, they would first trick them. Yang Ming was already a wily old fox in this regard. You want to trick me? Not so easy. Yang Ming replied indifferently, I don't know. I don't seem to have skipped class recently. Teacher Li listened to Yang Ming's reply and didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Yang Ming, you have been performing very well recently. I am looking for you mainly to talk about your learning situation. Oh, so it's like this. Teacher Li, are you going to praise me because my results improved this time? Yang Ming pretended to be natural and said, this. Teacher Li was stunned. Originally, she wanted to ask Yang Ming's opinion on the results this time. She didn't expect Yang Ming to beat her to it. The words that she had prepared couldn't be used. Zhao Ying looked at Teacher Li's stunned expression and smiled slightly. She had experienced Yang Ming's eloquence. She estimated that Teacher Li wasn't his opponent at all. However, Teacher Li had been teaching for a long time and had a lot of experience. She was slightly stunned and immediately said, yes, other than wanting to encourage you, I also want to ask you. What kind of learning method did you use to improve your results so quickly? Yang Ming naturally understood the meaning behind Teacher Li's words. Learning method? She was probably suspecting that his results weren't real. However, there were policies and countermeasures. Yang Ming pondered for a while and pretended to be embarrassed. He laughed and said, Teacher Li, actually, the reason why I was able to get such good results in the joint examination was purely because of luck. What? Teacher Li was confused. What do you mean? Really? Teacher Li, I don't have any special methods. I don't have any other advantages, but I have an excellent memory. I can memorize things very quickly. Yang Ming simply made up another lie. Yang Ming was very satisfied with the effect in front of him. This was what he wanted. If he had any shocking performance in the future, he could find a reason. All the teachers in the office, including Zhao Ying, were very curious as they leaned their heads towards the back of the Reader's Digest. It's like this. Before the exam, I did a few sets of last year's joint exam questions. In the end, during the exam, I realized that this year's exam questions were very similar to last year's. It was natural that I could answer them easily. Yang Ming didn't know if the other subjects' exam questions were similar to last year's math. But he thought that the possibility was high, so he took a gamble. This. Yang Ming really didn't know what to say. Teacher Li, listen to what you said. I'm not that kind of person. Yang Ming thought about it. If he didn't explain clearly this time, Teacher Li would definitely look for him in the future. Even Zhao Ying wouldn't let him go. He could avoid it with Teacher Li, but if Zhao Ying asked him, it wouldn't be good for him to not tell her. Silence. The office was silent. All the teachers stared at Yang Ming in disbelief. What? Memorization? Teacher Li frowned. Is this considered a learning method? But this method seemed to be the elixir for exams. Zhao Ying nodded and said, that's right. I was the one who found last year's exam questions for him. Zhao Ying was only talking about math subjects, but in Teacher Li's ears she thought that Zhao Ying had found all the subjects' exam questions for Yang Ming, so her suspicion was dispelled. After about 10 minutes, Yang Ming returned the book to the language teacher and said, okay, let me try. And when Teacher Li heard this, she was immediately interested. The other teachers also looked at Yang Ming in surprise. They didn't expect that this poor student who had been under their watch for 3 years would have such a powerful move. Yang Ming, I have seen your hard work during this period. You found last year's exam questions to do it. It proves that you are very motivated, but this time's results are too much of a coincidence. It doesn't represent your real results, so you can't be proud. Teacher Li was relieved and thought of another problem. She was afraid that Yang Ming would be proud in the future. I like the sprites that make all things come back to life in spring. I like the smell of the earth after the rain in summer. I like the sorrow of the golden leaves in autumn. I like the footprints left in the snow in winter. I hope to walk through spring with my beloved. Yang Ming looked at the magazine cover in front of him and used his X-ray vision to read it directly. Teacher Li, but I... Yang Ming stuttered, but his mind was working quickly. How could he cover up this lie? Let him introduce the learning method? What kind of joke was this? Chapter 70. Basically, there isn't any problem. The language teacher reacted and said quickly. Then can I go now? Yang Ming didn't want to stay in the office for too long. It felt weird to be surrounded by a large group of teachers. If it was only Zhao Ying, it would be fine. You can go back now. Teacher Li was completely speechless this time. Memory is innate. There is no way to teach it as a learning method. A special case like Yang Ming is really rare. When he was about to leave the office, Yang Ming suddenly saw Zhao Ying's complaining eyes. It seemed to be saying, why didn't you tell me about this? Yang Ming smiled bitterly and mouthed, I will find you tonight. Then he left the office. When he returned to the classroom, Yang Ming was immediately besieged by Zhang Bin. How was it? The teacher didn't see any flaws, right? Flaws? What flaws? Yang Ming scratched his head. It's the flaw of your cheating. Zhang Bin said. Fuck. I told you that this is the result of my hard work. Why would I cheat? Do you think that cheating can get me first in class? Yang Ming said with contempt. That's true. Zhang Bin shook his head. Then I will go home today and give a good shit. After all, they were already in their 3rd year of high school. Time was tight. Yang Ming's incident was like a small episode. It didn't cause much of a stir in the class. Everyone just talked about it for a while before they shifted their attention back to their revision. Wang Jitao, after class, pretended to come to Yang Ming's desk. Oh, you're quite good. Let's find a place to celebrate tonight. Celebrate with you? Forget it. I don't want to be a rapist again. I don't know how Qin Fei's investigation went. Wang Jitao, this guy did something bad and acted like nothing happened. However, on the surface, Yang Ming said perfunctorily, I may not be free tonight. Maybe another day. With that, Yang Ming stood up and walked towards Qin Mengyan. Damn it, I'm giving you face but you don't want it. Wang Jitao was infuriated. Do you think I want to hire you? He was just being polite. However, he said amiably, okay, call me when you have time. I'll accompany you anytime. Yang Ming nodded but didn't say anything. He really wanted to beat this guy up, but he knew that if he did, he would face Wang Jitao's crazy revenge. Yang Ming, on the other hand, was not afraid of anything. He was a single man, so how could he kill him? In today's society, no matter how awesome you are, it's not that easy to kill someone. However, the Wang family's connections were everywhere in Songjiang City. It was possible that Wang Jitao could find some uncles, and Yang Ming's parents would face layoffs. They couldn't do anything to you in the open, but there were many ways to do something to you in the dark. Yang Ming knew these rich young masters very well. Wasn't the incident at the Heavenly World Hotel a good example? Therefore Yang Ming knew that he couldn't completely fall out with Wang Jitao now. After the last incident, Yang Ming had matured a lot. He knew what should be done and what shouldn't be done. When a person was looked down upon, there would be resentment. When beaten down, there would be hatred. When mocked and ridiculed, there would be resistance. When excluded and controlled, there would be desperate to fight back. Only when there was hatred in the heart could it inspire the belief to move forward. Yang Ming was waiting for an opportunity. Sometimes a man just had to endure. Enduring didn't mean cowardice, but it was a sign of intelligence. Since ancient times, there weren't many people who didn't endure to achieve great things. If the Yu King Go Jian didn't have enough patience, how could he make a comeback? If Kangxi didn't have the patience, how could he kill Oh Boy? Yang Ming knew this very well, so he had been enduring. Rashly making a move on the enemy without enough strength, that was not awesome but idiotic. Qin Mengyan was very afraid of Yang Ming now. She felt that her face was burning. Originally, she should be happy that Yang Ming's results improved. Why did she have a restless feeling in her heart? Was it because Yang Ming did better than her? Was she jealous? Qin Mengyan shook her head. She didn't even think about this idea. Mengyan, are you free tonight? I'll treat you to a meal. Yang Ming sat beside Qin Mengyan. Qin Mengyan's desk mate was very discerning. Every time Yang Ming came, he would take the initiative to move aside. Qin Mengyan looked up at Yang Ming. Her face couldn't help but redden. Why are you treating me to a meal? It's like you're rich. I'm not rich, but I'm in a good mood because my results are good. Of course, I have to reward both of us. Yang Ming laughed. What does it have to do with me? Qin Mengyan complained in a low voice. Without your guidance, how could I have my results? Yang Ming whispered in Qin Mengyan's ear. Qin Mengyan's ear was ticklish and her face was even redder. Besides, you promised me last time that as long as my results were good, you would go on a date with me. I just said that we'll talk about it after the results come out. Qin Mengyan quickly shook her head. What date? Don't talk nonsense. I just said that I want to go shopping with you. Isn't that the same? Yang Ming didn't think that there was any difference between going shopping and going on a date. Aren't they both a guy and a girl going out for a walk? Forget it, since Qin Mengyan is shy, then let's go shopping. The result is the same anyway. So Yang Ming said, shopping is fine too. Next time, not tonight. I have to go home. Otherwise my family will be worried. Qin Mengyan said. Since Qin Mengyan didn't have time, Yang Ming went straight to Zhao Ying's office after school. He didn't know if Zhao Ying understood his lips today. When he reached the office door, Yang Ming found that the door was closed. He didn't know if Zhao Ying was there. Yang Ming wanted to knock on the door, but he felt that it was troublesome. He used his X-ray vision directly. He would be a fool if he didn't use his special ability. And Yang Ming opened his mouth wide. Zhao Ying was in the office at that moment, but she was changing her clothes. At that moment she just took off her work attire and she only wore a small pink bra. It was actually Hello Kitty's. He didn't expect Zhao Ying to be so cute. Her bra wasn't as sexy as Qin Mengyan's. Thinking of this, Yang Ming couldn't help but associate the last time he saw Qin Mengyan's bra. Chapter 71. Even the underwear is pink? Damn, there's also a kitty cat portrait on the butt. It's actually a set. Just as Yang Ming was engrossed in looking, he heard footsteps coming from the stairs not far away. I'm peeping here, don't let anyone find out. Yang Ming quickly hid in the opposite washroom. After a while he saw a man walking towards him. It was actually Jin Gang. Why is this guy here again? Ever since the robbery, Yang Ming never saw Jin Gang again. He thought this guy had given up on Zhao Ying. He didn't expect that after more than a month he still didn't give up. Great, I haven't looked for you yet, but you sent yourself to me. Damn, if I don't kill you today, I'll be sorry for the bicycle that you smashed into scrap metal. Yang Ming thought with hatred. Jin Gang knocked on the door. After a while the door opened. It was Zhao Ying who opened the door. At this moment, Zhao Ying had changed into a set of casual clothes. Why is it you? Zhao Ying looked at Jin Gang and frowned. It's like this, Teacher Zhao Ying. Next week is the teacher's sports day. Our sports team needs to count the participating teachers. Which event did you sign up for? Jin Gang took out a piece of paper from his pocket and passed it to Zhao Ying. No, I'm not participating. Zhao Ying waved her hand and rejected Jin Gang. I'm teaching grade 12. I don't have much time. So it's like this. Then forget it. Work is more important. Jean Gang didn't insist and put the paper in his pocket. His purpose for coming here wasn't this, so it didn't matter if Xiao Ying participated or not. Oh yeah, it's already so late. It's already past dinner time. You haven't eaten yet, right? Let's go together? No. Xiao Ying was just about to refuse when the office door was pushed open and Yang Ming swaggered in. Just now, Yang Ming had been paying attention to the situation here. When he saw that Jean Gang wanted to get close to her again, he quickly pushed open the door and walked in. Miss Xiao, didn't we agree that I would treat you to dinner tonight? Yang Ming, you're here. When Xiao Ying saw Yang Ming, her eyes lit up as if she had seen her savior. In the morning when she saw Yang Ming leave, he mouthed something to her. Xiao Ying vaguely felt that it meant I'll find you tonight, but she wasn't too sure. So after work she waited for Yang Ming in the office. She didn't expect to see Jean Gang there. Yes. Teacher Jean is here too? Yang Ming pretended to be surprised and said, Teacher Jean, we were chatting on the field just now. What a coincidence. What? Chatting on the field? Who chatted with you? Jean Gang was a bit puzzled. What? Ah? I understand. Yang Ming pretended to be mysterious and nodded. Nothing. Xiao Ying looked at the two people in front of her in confusion. What are they talking about? Jean Gang was also very surprised. Could it be that this kid is afraid of me because I smashed his bicycle last time? Is he deliberately trying to get close to me? Teacher Zhao, the improvement of my grades is all thanks to your guidance. So to thank you, I'm going to treat you to dinner tonight. Yang Ming said seriously, just like an obedient student. This. Xiao Ying hesitated. She didn't understand why Yang Ming insisted on treating her to dinner. But in order to get rid of Jean Gang, she nodded and said, Well, I will give you a chance to thank me. Teacher Jean, do you want to go together? Yang Ming looked at Jean Gang next to him and said, Jean Gang looked at Yang Ming in disbelief. He didn't expect him to invite him. You're talking about me? Yes, Teacher Jean, I will treat you. Why? Don't you want to go with me? Yang Ming said with a smile. Jean Gang agreed without thinking. He could eat with Xiao Ying and someone was paying the bill. Only a fool wouldn't go with such a great thing. Xiao Ying saw that Yang Ming also invited Jean Gang. He was even more confused. She looked at Yang Ming with a questioning face. Yang Ming deliberately pretended not to see and walked out of the office. Xiao Ying was helpless. She could only follow. She could only ask Yang Ming later. Looking at Jean Gang with a proud face, Xiao Ying was annoyed. At the school gate, Yang Ming reached out and stopped a taxi. Before the others could react, he opened the back door and sat in. Jean Gang was stunned. He wanted to sit in the back with Xiao Ying. He didn't expect Yang Ming to sit in the car before him. There was no way. Jean Gang had to sit next to Yang Ming. Xiao Ying sat in the front passenger seat. Where are you going? The driver asked. Heavenly World. Yang Ming said the name of the hotel. It was the one that Wang Jitao invited him last time. The driver nodded and started the car. Xiao Ying frowned. Heavenly World. Isn't that a very high-end hotel? Why does Yang Ming want to go to such an expensive place? And with Jean Gang? Thinking of this, she couldn't help but look back at Yang Ming. Yang Ming smiled and gave her a reassuring look. What's your name? On the road, Jean Gang turned his head and asked Yang Ming. Yang Ming. Yang Ming said. Good performance. Jean Gang patted Yang Ming's shoulder. Well, a bicycle has to be low-key and a person has to be low-key. Otherwise you will be unlucky. Yang Ming said suddenly. Jean Gang was stunned and then thought for a moment. He thought that Yang Ming indirectly admitted defeat, so he said very happily, Yes, low-key, hee. But Jean Gang wondered, how did this kid know that I smashed his bicycle? But no matter what, I scared this kid. Hee. Yang Ming also laughed twice, thinking, Idiot, I'm talking to you. I told you to be low-key. But since you are not low-key and still shamelessly follow me, don't blame me for being impolite. You can just wait for your death. Xiao Ying saw Yang Ming and Jean Gang chatting, and the doubts in her heart became heavier. Chapter 72. The taxi stopped at the entrance of Heavenly Earth. Because Xiao Ying was sitting in front, she asked, Sir, how much is it? 22. Do you want to print the invoice? Asked the driver. No need. 22, right? Xiao Ying was about to give the change, but Jean Gang first handed over a 50 yuan bill. I have it here. Jean Gang was happy in his heart. He could eat a delicious meal in a while and Zhao Ying was accompanying him. Jin Gang didn't care about the taxi fare. Seeing that Zhao Ying wanted to pay, of course Jin Gang had to be a man. If Jin Gang was willing to pay, then pay. Zhao Ying didn't argue with him. It was more than 20 yuan. Zhao Ying was really a little distressed. The three people got off the car. Yang Ming took the two people into heavenly earth with ease. Yang Ming had been here once, so he was familiar with the environment. He directly found the receptionist who despised him last time. Is there a seat? The receptionist saw that although Yang Ming was wearing ordinary street goods, he seemed to be very familiar. She guessed that he was a regular customer. She didn't despise him like last time. After all, many rich people had a strange habit of pretending to be poor. Who knew if Yang Ming was one of them? What's more, this time Yang Ming's momentum was completely different from the cautious momentum last time. He had a kind of bold momentum, and this momentum was the momentum of many rich people pretending to be a pig to eat a tiger. Therefore, the receptionist didn't dare to neglect. She quickly asked, "Sir, how many people are there?" 3, said Yang Ming. "Is it okay to sit in the lobby on the first floor? The private rooms are all reserved. There are no vacant rooms," said the receptionist. Of course. Yang Ming nodded. Even if he was asked to go to the private room upstairs, he wouldn't be willing to go. Eating downstairs, it was easier to implement his plan in a while. Therefore Yang Ming and the other two people were led to a seat by the window. The environment here was good. Yang Ming took a look. It was quite close to the door. Not bad. When they sat down, Jin Gang was in a dilemma again. He wanted to sit next to Zhao Ying, but he was afraid that Zhao Ying wouldn't want to sit next to him, so he wanted to let Zhao Ying sit first and then he would sit next to her. This way he could sit next to her legitimately. Therefore Jin Gang pretended to be very gentlemanly and said, "Everyone take a seat. Take a seat." It looked like he was treating everyone. This was also deliberately revealed by Jin Gang. Since someone was willing to pay for it, it would be a waste not to act. Seeing the waiter's gaze on him, Jin Gang was secretly pleased. I also acted like a tycoon for once. Idiot. Yang Ming looked at Jin Gang and cursed in his heart. This guy is really a simple-minded guy. I haven't guided him yet and he has already started to fall into the trap. You really can't judge an idiot by his appearance. He looks like a gigolo but his actions are a complete gigolo. Yang Ming sat next to the window that was close to the door. Zhao Ying also followed Yang Ming and sat next to him. Jin Gang looked at this and was depressed. However, it was not bad to be able to face Zhao Ying face to face. If it was normal times, there wouldn't be such an opportunity. Thinking of this, Jin Gang was somewhat balanced. After the three of them sat down, the waiter on the side asked with a smile, "Sir, can we order now?" She said this to Jin Gang. Through Jin Gang's actions just now, she obviously thought that Jin Gang was the buyer this time. "Oh, give the menu to this lady," Jin Gang said generously. After the waiter heard this, she smiled politely again and handed the menu to Zhao Ying. Jin Gang started to fantasize in his heart again. I was really cool just now. I finally understood what it means to be a gentleman. Zhao Ying took the menu and was shocked when she saw the price of the dishes. My goodness, what is this place? Isn't this too outrageous? A cold dish costs 50 yuan, and a piece of dried tofu costs 88 yuan. These are the two cheapest dishes. Looking at the rest, there was almost nothing below 100 yuan. What is Yang Ming doing? Why did he come here to eat? How can he have so much money to treat us? Zhao Ying was very clear about Yang Ming's family condition, so she couldn't help but worry about Yang Ming. But since she was already here, if she didn't eat before going out, it would be too shameful. Zhao Ying gritted her teeth. Forget it. I'll order a few cheap dishes. If it doesn't work, I'll pay for Yang Ming's bill. Thinking of this, Zhao Ying only ordered the cold dish and dried tofu. Then she handed the menu to Yang Ming and said, "Let's eat less. I'm not too hungry. I've been on a diet recently, so I have to eat something light." As she said this, she gave Yang Ming a look, indicating that he should cooperate with her. She didn't expect Yang Ming to ignore Zhao Ying's look. After taking the menu, he said directly, "I'll have a piece of tinfoil pork ribs, a piece of braised tofu, and a piece of Sichuan bamboo shoots." Yang Ming had eaten these three dishes when Wang Jitao treated him last time. They were very delicious. So this time he ordered them too. These dishes weren't very expensive, but they were the specialty dishes here. Zhao Ying's heart was bleeding. Yang Ming, Yang Ming, don't you know that it's not easy for your sister Ying to be single? I have to pay rent in addition to sending money home every month. Aren't you tricking me? Yang Ming finished ordering his favorite dishes, and then he passed the menu to Jean Gang. It was like passing it around and finally returning to the owner's hands. Teacher Jean, we finished ordering. Jean Gang actually wanted to take the menu and order a few expensive dishes. Anyway, someone was paying the bill. It would be a waste if he didn't eat. Jean Gang couldn't wait to open the menu, and then he pretended to look at it for a long time and said, "And there are both meat and vegetarian dishes. It's just missing some seafood. How about this? Give me a pound of sea cucumber, 3 lobsters, 3 shark fin rice, 3 abalones and sauce. And that's all for now." "Hey, sir." The waiter quickly remembered the dishes Jean Gang ordered. He thought, this man is really generous to order the expensive dishes. "This, Teacher Jean, let's order something light." When Zhao Ying heard about lobsters, abalones and sea cucumber, her head was about to explode. What is this Jean Gang doing? He's really shameless to treat others. Chapter 73. It's cold today. Why are we eating something light? Jean Gang finally had a chance to eat a big meal. Of course he wouldn't let it go. "It's okay, Miss Xiao. You eat something light. Teacher Jean and I will eat seafood." Yang Ming also smiled and agreed. When Jean Gang heard Yang Ming say so, he felt a little more confident. The dishes that he just ordered were all a few thousand yuan. He was afraid that Yang Ming couldn't afford it. If he objected, he would lose face. Zhao Ying on the side saw Yang Ming's confident look. She had no choice but to agree. She just prayed that Yang Ming didn't bring no money. Otherwise, she could only be sent here as a waiter. "What drinks would you like to order?" the waiter asked after taking down the menu. "Drinks? There are ladies here today. How about red wine?" Jean Gang looked at Yang Ming and suggested. In fact, he was asking for Yang Ming's opinion. After all, the person paying the bill was Yang Ming. But now his expression and tone made it seem like he was the master. "Well, Miss Xiao, you don't mind wine, right?" Yang Ming smiled at Zhao Ying and said, "How about we each drink a glass?" So, Zhao Ying usually didn't drink, but it was rare that Yang Ming got good results today. She didn't want to be too disappointing. Besides, wine wasn't considered wine in many people's eyes. It was just a kind of drink. So she nodded and said, "Well then drink less. Don't drink too much." "Waiter, what kind of wine do you have here?" Jean Gang asked. His tone was full, just like a big boss. "The wine sold in our hotel is directly imported from the Raphael Manor. Currently we have 82, 85, 90. Of course, there is also the wine produced by the Raphael Manor in Yantai. The price is slightly lower." "Which one do you want, sir?" asked the waiter. "It should be imported in 1982. Jean Gang had heard that the older the wine was, the better it tasted. Now that he had the opportunity to taste it, of course, he wouldn't let it go. He didn't know how much a bottle of this wine would cost, so he never dreamed that he would have to pay such a high price. Yang Ming didn't know much about this, so when he heard Jean Gang's order, he didn't have much of a reaction. He just nodded. If he knew that this wine was very expensive, he would definitely hesitate. Although he was messing with Jean Gang this time, he didn't want to push Jean Gang into a desperate situation. "Sir." The waiter was happy to hear that. In this kind of big hotel, the waiter would get a commission for selling high-end wine. This bottle of wine was worth 48,000 yuan. Just the commission alone was 480 yuan. How refreshing. After a while, the dishes were served on the table, and the bottle of top-grade red wine was also served. The waiter carefully opened the bottle and poured a glass for each of them. "Everyone eat. Don't be shy." Jean Gang saw that the dishes were served and quickly said, "If it's not enough, we can ask for more." That look of his was really asking for a beating. Yang Ming said in his heart, "If I don't let you pay the bill later, then I'm sorry for your performance today." "Miss Xiao, you eat," Yang Ming said with a smile. "Hey." Zhao Ying faced a table full of delicacies, but she didn't have any appetite. She was worried about Yang Ming. How could she eat well? "Come, Yang Ming. I heard that you got a good result today. Let's have a toast first." Jean Gang couldn't wait to taste the 1982 red wine, but it wasn't good for him to drink first if others didn't drink. He had to find an excuse to drink. "Okay, cheers. Miss Xiao, how about you?" Yang Ming said as he raised the wine glass in his hand. Zhao Ying had no choice but to follow them and raise her glass. She gently clinked her glass and took a small sip. Yang Ming and Jean Gang each took a big sip. Not bad. Yang Ming thought, no wonder so many rich people like to drink this thing. The taste is much better than those inferior wines. Putting down the wine glass, Yang Ming started to eat the delicacies on the table. It would be a waste not to eat, and he couldn't take it away. In the blink of an eye, a bottle of red wine was divided between Yang Ming and Jin Gang. Originally, Yang Ming wanted to ask for a bottle, but because Zhao Ying was there, he decided not to. But just this thought saved Jin Gang a lot of money. Would Jin Gang thank Yang Ming? Jin Gang also drank sweetly, but seeing that Yang Ming didn't ask for another bottle, he couldn't ask for another bottle. After a while, the dishes on the table were almost finished. Yang Ming took a deep breath. Even if you want to act, you have to be more realistic, right? Half a minute later, Yang Ming breathed out. His face was red as if he was drunk. Miss Zhao, the improvement of my grades is thanks to you. I was going to buy a gift for you. Yang Ming pretended to be casual and said, oh yeah, Miss Zhao, you like Hello Kitty, right? How did you know? Zhao Ying asked curiously. She didn't tell him before. Teacher Jean told me on the field just now. Yang Ming laughed. Jin Gang thought that Yang Ming was giving him a chance to please her again. He quickly said, yeah, I told him. Yeah, Teacher Jean also said that you like the pink Hello Kitty. Yang Ming continued. Pink? Zhao Ying frowned. What does that mean? It's true that I like pink, but it's only limited to underwear. How did Jin Gang know? Yeah, just now when I passed by Miss Zhao's office window on the field, I coincidentally bumped into Teacher Jean. He was standing under your office window. Yang Ming said seriously, then we chatted for a while. After Zhao Ying heard it, she frowned more and more. Her face was getting worse and worse. My office is on the first floor and can be seen from the field. But when I changed my clothes, I already closed the curtains. Is there a small gap? Jin Gang actually peeked at me? Or else what did he mean by the pink Hello Kitty? Chapter 74. Zhao Ying, if you like that, I'll buy more for you someday. But to be honest, pink is not as good as yellow. Jin Gang said with a smile. Of course he was referring to the plush toys. But in Zhao Ying's ears, these words had a different meaning. And his smile became a perverted smile. Peeping at him and even commenting on his appearance. Pa. Zhao Ying couldn't take it anymore. She stood up and gave Jin Gang a tight slap. Pervert. Yang Ming, let's go. As she said that, the angry Zhao Ying pulled the happy but confused Yang Ming towards the entrance of the hotel. The frequency of a woman slapping a man was quite high in the hotel, so the waiters were already used to it. No one stopped Zhao Ying and Yang Ming. Anyway, Jin Gang was still sitting there, so there was no need to worry about no one paying the bill. As for Jin Gang, he still didn't know what he did to offend Zhao Ying. He covered his red face and watched Zhao Ying and Yang Ming leave with an innocent expression. Then he realized that Yang Ming hadn't paid the bill yet. Fuck, what the hell is this? Jin Gang complained in his heart. Looking at the table full of leftovers, how much did it cost? Jin Gang subconsciously touched his wallet. No, this is Yang Ming's treat, why should I pay the bill? Thinking of this, Jin Gang ran towards the entrance. But when he reached the entrance, he was stopped by the waitress just now. Sir, you haven't paid the bill yet. I'm going to chase that person and come back to pay the bill. Jin Gang said with sweat all over his forehead. Chase. If you leave and don't come back, who are we going to look for to collect the bill? Of course, the waiter couldn't agree to Jin Gang leaving. It's true. I'm not lying to you. I'm not the one who's treating. It's that student. Jin Gang explained. Acting, you're quite good at acting. Aren't you treating? Who would believe that? Among the three of you, you're the best at managing things. A student's treat? You don't even know how to make up lies. I think he probably failed to pick up a girl and didn't want to spend the money, right? The waiter despised Jin Gang in his heart. I don't care what relationship you have with them, but if you don't pay up, we won't let you leave. The waiter said coldly. But Jin Gang was about to say something when he saw a few security guards walking over. Although he practiced sports, he couldn't handle being ganged up on by others. In desperation, Jin Gang had no choice but to say, all right, I'll pay. How much? Jin Gang could only deal with the situation in front of him and wait for an opportunity to ask Yang Ming for the money back. But Jin Gang still didn't understand why Zhao Ying was so angry. The total is 51,721 yuan. After removing the round number, it's 51,700. The waiter said. 51,700. What? 50,000? Jean Gang was stunned. Are you kidding me? Did you count wrongly? No, sir. It's really 51,700. The waiter said with certainty. Impossible. This is a black restaurant. Why is it so expensive? Jean Gang said angrily. When I was ordering, I looked at it. Although the lobster and abalone are expensive, it's only a little more than 1,000 yuan. These dishes only add up to 3,000 yuan. How did you calculate it? Do you think I'm a fool who doesn't know the price? As a matter of fact, 50,000 yuan was a huge amount of money for Jean Gang. His monthly salary was only a little more than 1,000 yuan. Adding the money that his family gave him, he only had a little more than 3,000 yuan in his pocket. The reason why he was willing to pay the bill first was because he already calculated that he had enough money in his pocket. So this is your bill. Look at it yourself. You ordered a jean of sea cucumber, 3 lobsters, 3 sets of shark fin rice, 3 sets of abalone in sauce, 1 set of special cold dish, 1 set of dried tofu, 1 set of tinfoil spare ribs, 1 set of braised tofu and 1 set of Sichuan bamboo shoots. The total is 3,721. That's right. Isn't it only 3,000? Why do you charge me 50,000 yuan? You're bullying the customer. Jean Gang frowned and asked, Be careful, I'll complain to the Consumer Association. Sir, don't be agitated. Listen to my explanation. I haven't finished yet. These are the dishes that you ordered. You also ordered a bottle of 1982 Raphael red wine, which is 48,000 yuan. So the total is 51,721 yuan. Minus 21 yuan, it's 51,700 yuan. The waitress tried to maintain a smile as she explained to Jean Gang. Although she despised this man in her heart. What? A bottle of wine costs 48,000? Jean Gang opened his eyes wide and looked at the bill in his hand in disbelief. That's right. The Raphael Manor is the best of the best, especially the 1982 Raphael Manor. It's the best of the best. The waitress explained. A bottle of wine? Damn, it's more expensive than drugs. Jean Gang scolded with a bitter face. It's so expensive. Why didn't you tell me earlier? Sir, you ordered it yourself. I thought you knew about it. The waitress said helplessly. I knew. How could I know? If you didn't tell me, how would I know? Jean Gang shouted. What kind of reason is that? Of course, you should have reported the price first. You are cheating the consumer. Sir, the price is written on the menu. Didn't you look at the menu yourself? The waitress was very angry. This man is too disgusting. No wonder he was slapped by a woman. It would be strange if a man like him could chase a beauty. This. Jean Gang didn't know how to refute. This kind of thing, even if he went to court, he wouldn't win. Wait, let me make a call first. Jean Gang thought about it and decided to call Zhao Ying to see if he could find Yang Ming to settle the bill. Call. So, under the waitress's supervision, Jean Gang dialed Zhao Ying's cell phone. But he didn't expect to be rejected after 2 rings. He called again, but it was still rejected. Damn. Jean Gang scolded in his heart. Looking at the few security guards in front of him, Jean Gang didn't doubt that these people would beat him up and send him to the police station. In desperation, Jean Gang had no choice but to call a few of his disreputable friends. Then he took out his wallet, counted $1,700 bills and handed them over. The waiter handed the money to the cashier. After counting it, he asked Jean Gang, Do you want a receipt? Yes. Maybe I can even win a prize. Jean Gang gritted his teeth and said. The waiter pulled out the receipt and gave it to Jean Gang. Jean Gang and Xiao Chao both started to scrape. Maybe it was because Jean Gang's character was too bad. There were more than 100 invoices. The largest denomination was 500, but none of them won a prize. Jean Gang, what's going on? 50,000 yuan for a meal? Were you cheated? Outside the restaurant, Xiao Chao looked at the depressed Jean Gang and asked. Don't mention it. A bottle of wine is fucking 48,000. Jean Gang shook his head. It's fucking expensive. I've never seen such expensive wine. What wine? 48,000? Isn't this cheating? Xiao Chao frowned. Do you need to find a few brothers to talk to him? This is heavenly earth. Do you dare to behave atrociously here? Jean Gang rolled his eyes and said, It's called Raphael Manor's 1982 grape wine. Raphael Manor? And it's 1982? But Brother, you really know how to enjoy yourself. Xiao Chao sighed. In our bar, the price of the 88-year-old ones is 40,000 yuan. Yours isn't expensive. Xiao Chao was just talking. He didn't dare to find trouble with the Heavenly Earth Society. What am I enjoying? Do you think I came here to enjoy myself? It's someone else's treat. I followed along. Jin Gang said angrily. Someone else's treat? Then why did you pay the bill? Xiao Chao asked. What? It's like this. So Jin Gang told Xiao Chao what happened. You said that the student had a grudge with you? Xiao Chao asked suspiciously. Yeah, but didn't I say that he expressed goodwill to me later? Jin Gang said. Fuck. You've been tricked. Xiao Chao scolded after hearing that. Show goodwill. From the beginning to the end he did it deliberately. I was tricked. How could it be? Zhao isn't that kind of person. Jin Gang shook his head in doubt. Don't you understand? It was the student who tricked you. Xiao Chao said, you're an adult but you don't have any social experience. It's obvious that the student said something vaguely that made Zhao Ying misunderstand. Fuck his mother. I was wondering. I felt that this kid wasn't honest. How could a student treat at such a good place? Jin Gang scolded. You should have thought of it earlier. A student who rides a 28-year-old bicycle to school. What kind of money can he have? Xiao Chao complained. Isn't that so? It's all my fault. Why can't I think of it? Why didn't I think of it? Jin Gang complained to himself and held his head. Forget it. Don't blame yourself. Wait for me to bring my 2 brothers to catch that little bastard. No matter what, we'll make him pay for it. Xiao Chao said. That's it. Today is the weekend. How about Monday night? Come to our school. Let's go together. Jin Gang nodded. Yangming, you dared to trick me. See if I don't kill you this time. Last time, Jin Gang didn't dare to show up. But this time Jin Gang suffered such a big loss. He decided to shed all pretense of cordiality. If anything happens, his uncle will take care of it. Zhao Ying was very surprised after hearing it. She had already thought of something that night. Hey, you already knew that the guy wasn't a good person. He wasn't strong enough, but he still wanted to play the hero saving the beauty. After Yang Ming finished, he smiled proudly. We are the real hero saving the beauty. Isn't that right, Sister Ying? Zhao Ying blushed. You are so annoying. When a woman says annoying to a man, it usually means 2 different things. The first is that the woman really hates the man. The second is that lovers are flirting. Even if the 2 are not lovers, their relationship must be very ambiguous. The important feature to distinguish the 2 is that in the first case, the woman's face is often full of disgust. In the second case, the woman's face is often red. Zhao Ying is obviously the second case. Yang Ming looked at the shy Zhao Ying in front of him. He couldn't help but be moved. Yang Ming is different from Wang Jitao and Jin Gang, who are silent on the outside. He is a man of action. He does what he thinks. The beautiful girl in front of him made Yang Ming's breath become rapid. Yang Ming looked around and saw that there was no one around. He couldn't hold it in anymore. He reached out and grabbed Zhao Ying's soft hand. He stared into Zhao Ying's eyes and said, Ying, you are so beautiful. Zhao Ying had already realized that Yang Ming was not right. However, the ambiguous atmosphere in front of her made Zhao Ying's heart beat fast. The man in front of her, excluding his age and identity, really made Zhao Ying feel very intoxicated. The sense of security when she was with him came from the bottom of her heart. However, Zhao Ying was older. When she heard Yang Ming say Ying and saw Yang Ming's deep eyes, Zhao Ying knew that something was going to happen. One of them was a teacher and the other was a student. From an ethical point of view, Zhao Ying couldn't accept it. She knew that the 2 of them couldn't go on like this. It wasn't good for anyone. Yang Ming, you're still joking with Sister Ying. Zhao Ying suddenly laughed and said, you have no respect for your elders. Yang Ming heard Zhao Ying's words and was slightly stunned. Then he shook his head awkwardly. Haha, yes, is Zhao Ying's relationship to me really just a relationship between a teacher and a sister? Yang Ming was a little disappointed. He couldn't help but laugh at himself. Do you think this is a YY novel? You still want to flirt with a teacher? You really overestimate yourself. Zhao Ying also saw Yang Ming's disappointed look. Yang Ming didn't feel good. She also didn't feel good. When Zhao Ying said the sentence, "You have no respect for your elders," Zhao Ying only felt that her heart was like a glass bottle that fell from a high place and fell into pieces. Did I really fall in love with the boy in front of me? Zhao Ying was in disbelief. However, the feeling of her heart being broken was deeply engraved in Zhao Ying's heart. With the scene just now, Yang Ming and Zhao Ying's mood wasn't very high. They stopped a taxi. Yang Ming first let Zhao Ying go and then went home by himself. Originally, Zhao Ying wanted to ask Yang Ming how he knew about Hello Kitty, but now she had no interest. It saved Yang Ming the explanation. Originally, Yang Ming wanted to say that he accidentally saw it when he went to Zhao Ying's house last time. Tonight was destined to be a sleepless night. Chapter 77. After returning home, Yang Ming's parents were watching TV in the living room. Seeing Yang Ming's expression, Yang's father thought that the results of the joint examination were out. Yang Ming didn't do well, so he quickly comforted him. "Big Ming, what's wrong? Why are you so sad?" In the past, when Yang Ming came back from the exam, even if he did badly, he had no expression on his face. Now that Yang Ming had such an expression, it showed that he really worked hard. Because only when there was hope there would be disappointment. This showed that Yang Ming put in a lot of effort. So even if Yang Ming didn't do well, Yang's father was very pleased. "I'm fine." Yang Ming shook his head. Yang Ming couldn't tell his parents about Zhao Ying's matter. "Big Ming, is the result out? It doesn't matter if you didn't do well as long as you tried your best." Mother Yang also saw that Yang Ming wasn't right. "Dad, Mom, I'm fine." As Yang Ming said this, he took out the report card from his bag and handed it to his parents. "The result is out. Look at it yourself. I feel a little uncomfortable. Maybe I caught a cold. I want to go back to my room to sleep. Don't disturb me." After that, Yang Ming quickly walked back to his room and closed the door. He threw his bag and lay on the bed. Yang Ming knew that this might be the last time he was alone with Zhao Ying. From tomorrow onwards, the relationship between the two of them would never be the same as before. Yang's father took the report card. He habitually started to look for Yang Ming's name from the last place. After looking for more than half of it, he still didn't see it. He couldn't help but have some doubts. "Did I miss it? Let me see." Mother Yang grabbed the report card. "Ah." Mother Yang pointed at the report card and exclaimed. "What's wrong? Why are you shouting?" Yang's father was confused. "Big Ming, he first place." Mother Yang pointed at the report card and said in horror. "What first place? Is it the last place again? It's not right. I just saw that the last place wasn't Big Ming." Yang's father asked strangely. "What last place? Big Ming got first place in the class. 9th place in the school year." Mother Yang said as she stared at Yang's father. "Is it true? Let me see." Yang's father immediately moved his head. "Stay away from me. Your stubble is pricking me to death." Mother Yang wasn't happy, but she still moved the report card towards Father Yang. "Heavens, is this the Great Ming Dynasty?" Father Yang looked at the first name and asked. "What do you mean? You can't even tell your own son's name? You said Big Ming got his act together?" Yang's father asked. "It's possible. You remember Big Ming and his classmate Chen Mingyan? I guess Big Ming got his act together because of her." Mother Yang guessed. "Didn't you know about the phone call a few days ago? But this time we shouldn't interfere. Besides, Big Ming will be a college student after the college entrance examination. We can't do anything about it." Yang's father said. "Who's interfering? You should change your temper." Mother Yang said. "Aren't I much better now?" Yang's father laughed. Yang Ming slept in a daze for a night. When he woke up in the morning, his mood was much better. However, Yang Ming didn't intend to give up. There were so many opportunities. Who could say what would happen in the future? "Big Ming, wake up. Didn't we agree to go to the computer city today to buy a computer?" Yesterday, Yang Ming's results made Yang's father more determined to buy a computer for Yang Ming. Yang Dahai felt that he could stand up straight in the factory in the future. At his age, the most common topic among colleagues was children. The child of the Zhang family won the physics competition, and the child of the Li family was admitted to college. Every time this happened, Yang Dahai rarely interrupted because Yang Ming's results were really unspeakable. "Got it, Dad. I'll get up right away." As Yang Ming said this, he got up from the bed. He didn't have the depressed expression he had yesterday. "How is it? Are you feeling better? Do you need to take medicine?" Yang's father also thought that Yang Ming was really sick. Otherwise, how could he be so depressed with such good results? I'm fine. I just caught a cold. Yang Ming shook his head. He quickly put on his clothes and ran to the bathroom. Today was the weekend. Yang Dehai prepared 5,000 yuan early and was ready to take Yang Ming to buy a computer. After breakfast, Yang Dehai and Yang Ming went out. Because they had money in their pockets, the father and son directly called a taxi. Hey, brother Yang Ming, it's you. The taxi driver looked up and saw Yang Ming. He said with some joy. Brother Kun, what a coincidence. Yang Ming also smiled. It turned out that the taxi driver was actually Sun Kun. Big Ming, do you know each other? Yang's father asked curiously. Hee, this is uncle, right? My name is Sun Kun. I picked up Yang Ming and sister-in-law that day. My brother and I hit it off very well. We are friends. Sun Kun introduced himself. Sister-in-law? Yang's father widened his eyes and looked at Yang Ming incredulously. Yang Ming was stunned. He didn't expect Sun Kun to mention this. He was a little embarrassed. Just classmates. Oh. Yang's father nodded. He naturally thought it was Chen Mingyan, so he didn't say much. He remembered Mother Yang's words. He didn't dare to give Yang Ming any pressure at this time. Sun Kun also realized that Yang Ming was just a student. He smiled embarrassedly. Where are you going? Right, brother Kun, I want to buy a computer. Do you know where is better? Yang Ming asked. If you want to buy a computer, Zhongbai Computer City is good. It's newly opened. The price is more reasonable. Sun Kun said, there are more manufacturers with more brands. The quality is guaranteed. If you want to buy a branded computer, go to Zhongbai Computer City. If you want to install your own computer, go to Old 3 Good Computer City. The parts are cheaper there. Brother Sun, you know a lot. Yang Ming praised. Hey, you're always pulling customers. I heard it from the customers. Sun Kun smiled. If I want to buy a branded computer, then go to Zhongbai Computer City. Yang Ming was a computer illiterate. He didn't know anything about hardware. If he was asked to assemble it himself, he couldn't do it. It was better to buy a branded computer. He couldn't be cheated and there was a guarantee of after-sales service. Chapter 78. The car fare from Yang Ming's house to Zhongbai Computer City was 12 yuan, but Sun Kun only charged 10 yuan. Yang Ming didn't insist. After all, it wouldn't look good for two men to push each other for a long time because of 2 yuan. Zhongbai Computer City was a national chain IT store. It hadn't been long since it entered Songjiang, only a month. But because of the good geographical location, it was near Songjiang Industry University, so the business was quite good. After entering the store, Yang Ming directly ignored the Japanese and American products and went to the domestic counter. Big Ming, don't you want to buy imported from Japan? Asked Yang's father. No, I support domestic products and boycott Japanese products. Yang Ming shook his head. It was difficult for his father's generation to understand his generation's view of Japanese products. Yang's father didn't care. Yang Ming would buy whatever he wanted. Domestic products were cheaper. Yang Ming came to the Shenzhou computer store. He had heard of this brand long ago. It was a domestic product for civilians and it was most suitable for students to buy. The key was that the boss of this company had a good character and a good reputation. Student, do you want to buy a computer? A salesgirl smiled and asked Yang Ming. Like Yang Ming, who came with his parents, most of them brought money, so the salesgirl was particularly enthusiastic. Yeah, what are the prices? Asked Yang Ming. What are you going to use them for? First tell me your purpose. I will recommend a few models for you. Asked the salesgirl. And I am going online to search for information, chat, watch movies and play games after the college entrance examination. Yang Ming thought about it and said, have you decided to buy a desktop or a laptop? But you are a senior in high school. When you go to university, you will need a computer in the dormitory, so I suggest you buy a laptop. It is more convenient to carry around. The salesgirl said, according to your requirements, a normal computer can be satisfied. I recommend a few popular ones now. You can choose by yourself. Yang Ming thought about it and agreed. It would be more convenient to just buy a laptop. So he said, then a laptop. Oh yeah, you must bring a DVD drive. Yang Ming thought of those lip-reading CDs, so he specifically added this requirement. You don't have to worry about this. Laptops generally have a CD-ROM drive. The shop assistant pointed out a few laptops for Yang Ming to see and introduced the configuration to Yang Ming. Yang Ming didn't quite understand. After a long time he decided to buy a model that was 4,399 yuan. It looked good and the configuration was enough. Low-priced laptops generally had a clear price tag and there was no need to bargain. The shop assistant gave Yang Ming a backpack, a mouse and some software. After returning home, Yang Ming began to work on the notebook. Yang's father called the netcom company and made an appointment to install the broadband. Perhaps it was because of the competition with the telecommunications company. The staff arrived in the afternoon after the appointment was made at noon. They helped Yang Ming connect the modem with ease and Yang Ming could go online. Yang Ming first downloaded a QQ software, then after installing it he logged into his QQ number. Yang Ming used to apply for a QQ number when he was in the internet cafe. It was a 7-digit number. Even now it could still be sold for dozens of yuan. Yang Ming hadn't logged into QQ for a long time. There were a lot of system messages as soon as he went online. Yang Ming's online name was "There's no true love in this world." This was applied after Suya transferred to another school. At that time he was unhappy so he used such a name. Later he didn't change it. But a lot of little sluts saw this online name and thought that Yang Ming specialized in one-night stands, so people kept adding him. There were even rich women who directly asked Yang Ming how much it was for a night after adding him. Yang Ming looked at the system message. As long as it didn't say what it was, he directly refused. Only one was sent by Zhang Bin and Yang Ming authenticated it. True love, long time no see. A message was sent. It was sent by a woman named I'm a Big Star. Saying that she was a woman was just the gender in QQ. In this era where transvestites were everywhere, who knew if the real person was a man or a woman? I told you 10,000 times. Lousy is not true love. Lousy is called there's no true love. Yang Ming sent an angry emoji. I'm a Big Star sent a smiley emoji. Hee hee, why are you online at this time? I just bought a computer so I can go online at home. Yang Ming replied. Okay, let's not talk. My agent is calling me. I have to attend a product launch for endorsement. I'm a Big Star said. Yang Ming sent a goodbye profile picture. This chick really thinks she's a star. Yang Ming shook his head. Obviously he didn't believe what I'm a Big Star said. But the internet? It was both true and false. Yang Ming didn't refute it. Speaking of which, on QQ Yang Ming chatted with I'm a Big Star the most. This person was added by Yang Ming when he booked a room in an internet cafe. According to the other party, she was a big star. After closing QQ, Yang Ming went online for a while. He searched for information related to X-ray glasses, but most of the search results were X-ray mahjong and the like. There were also some infrared X-ray devices, but they were different from Yang Ming's glasses. Yang Ming was ready to take off his contact lenses to see if there was any information such as a serial number, so that he could search for it in the search engine. Until now, Yang Ming hadn't taken off his glasses for more than a month. Chapter 79. In the history of China and the history of the world, there were a few strange people who had the ability to see through things. Some of them were born with this ability while some were acquired through training. However, there was one thing that was unique, and that was that these people had more or less experienced some kind of lucky coincidence. There were even some sects that specially trained this ability. They called the ability to see through things as the opening of the heavenly eye. It was said that those who mastered it could see through the mysteries of the heavens and see through reincarnation. Of course, these were all unofficial histories or just legends. In today's society, there was no such person who had such a special ability. Yang Ming was definitely an exception. Yang Ming did not expect to find any useful information on the internet. After all, his situation was too strange. His special ability originated from a pair of contact lenses, but it seemed that this pair of contact lenses had fused with his body. Was this considered as using advanced technology? Or did he possess a special ability? Yang Ming was very confused. However, there was one thing that he could be sure of. At least for now, this pair of contact lenses not only had the ability to see through things and see through things, but it should also have the ability to peek into other people's thoughts. However, as for how to operate it, Yang Ming did not understand, or was there a defect in the lenses? Or was this pair of contact lenses just like in those YY novels and could be continuously upgraded? Really, that old man did not give me a manual. How am I supposed to study it? Since he could not figure it out, Yang Ming decided not to think about him for now. There were more important things waiting for Yang Ming to do. Yang Ming found the CD of the lip-reading tutorial and inserted it into the computer. After the CD started automatically, Yang Ming clicked on the next step and entered the teaching interface. Video teaching was different from books. Originally, there were some things that he did not understand, but Yang Ming could find the answers in the video. After more than an hour, Yang Ming could actually understand simple lip reading. Except for some obscure words, Yang Ming was able to understand the daily conversation. Yang Ming felt that he had learned enough, so he wanted to find an opportunity to practice. But now, it was impossible to have such an opportunity at home. After thinking about it, Yang Ming turned on the TV, changed the channel and turned the volume to the lowest. He sat on the sofa and started reading. This was a classic film from the end of the 70s called The Younger Generation. It was about the love story of young people in that era. In the beginning, Yang Ming could not follow the mouths of the actors on TV, but gradually Yang Ming's speed was exactly the same as on TV. It had been changed to a non-mainstream picture of who knows what. Looks like. Yang Ming typed a word and sent it over. I am a big star 2039. 02 looks like? I am a big star obviously didn't react. There is no true feelings in this world 2039. 32 and the original one was quite similar. I am a big star 2040. 04 true feelings. You can go to hell. Yang Ming closed QQ and laughed until he was convulsing. Every time he went online to chat he would joke with I am a big star. Early on Sunday morning, Qin Fei called Yang Ming. Uncle Qin, are you looking for me? Yang Ming yawned and ran to the living room to pick up the phone. Last night he played on the computer until midnight. He hadn't woken up yet. And Yang Ming, I have two news to tell you. One is about Fong Tian and the other is about you. Qin Fei said. About me? Yang Ming was stunned. About me? Chapter 80. Yes, the person who framed you was caught. Qin Fei said, I can't explain it clearly over the phone. After half an hour, wait for me downstairs. Yang Ming immediately woke up. Is it Wang Jitao? Let's talk about it later. Qin Fei said and hung up the phone. After half an hour, Yang Ming saw Qin Fei's car at the entrance of the community. After getting in the car, Qin Fei asked, Have you had breakfast? Not yet, I just woke up. Yang Ming smiled embarrassedly. Go. Let's find a place to eat something first. I haven't eaten yet. Qin Fei parked the car in front of an old man's bun shop not far away. Qin Fei and Yang Ming ordered 4 buns and a bowl of porridge. They found a place to sit down and eat. The old man's bun shop was a chain of snacks. The business was very good. During breakfast they had to share a table with others. Uncle Qin, the thing you said? Because it was related to him, Yang Ming was more anxious. There are a lot of people here. Let's talk about it after we finish eating. Qin Fei looked around and then changed the topic. Oh yeah, the joint examination results have been released, right? I heard that you did well in the exam? It's okay. Uncle Qin, how did you know? Yang Ming nodded and began to destroy the buns on the plate. Uncle Qin has an informant. Qin Fei smiled. Informant? Yang Ming smiled bitterly and shook his head. I'm not a gang leader. Isn't it a waste to have an informant around me? I'm just kidding. I have a relative in your number 4 high school. I saw the academic year list. Qin Fei said, that's pretty good. 9th place in the academic year. Of course, who do you think I am? Yang Ming finished the last mouthful of porridge and wiped his mouth with a tissue. You keep bragging. Qin Fei patted Yang Ming's head. Let's go after we finish eating. After getting in the car, Qin Fei talked about the serious matter. Yang Ming, the person who drugged you, was caught. He's here to surrender. Surrender? Uncle Qin, are you saying that Wang Jitao turned himself in? Yang Ming asked. It wasn't Wang Jitao. It was a waiter at the Heavenly World Hotel. Qin Fei said, he took all the blame and confessed to the details of the crime. But it's Wang Jitao, isn't it? Yang Ming was stunned. Uncle Qin, do you really believe that a waiter would frame me? I have no enmity with him, so why would he want to frame me? Yang Ming, this is not a matter of whether you believe me or not. Everything must be based on evidence. Now, all the evidence provided by this person who turned himself in can prove that he did it alone, and it's not that he didn't have a motive. Qin Fei said, According to him, he used to be your junior high school classmate. He was beaten by you, so he had a grudge against you. That day when you went to the Heavenly World Hotel to drink, he saw you by chance and remembered the previous grievances. He had a sudden idea and put an aphrodisiac in your wine. Then he simply kidnapped a woman on the street and let you play a rape game with her to frame you. Ah. Yang Ming listened to Qin Fei's words and was shocked. What is going on? It's incredible. Yang Ming Wang Jitao is very smart. He made the right move. In this way the case is closed. It won't be related to him in the future. Although I don't believe the waiter's words, the boss of the Heavenly World Hotel has put pressure on me to close the case as soon as possible. Qin Fei shook his head and said, forget it. It's good enough to have such a result. Yang Ming shook his head indifferently. As for Wang Jitao, he would find an opportunity to make him pay back what he owed him. Yang Ming, it's good that you can think like this. Qin Fei said happily, I thought you would not let it go. Uncle Qin, I'm not a child anymore. Yang Ming smiled. Right, how is Fang Tian's case? He was acquitted. Bureau Chief Wang has reported to the higher-ups. Some financial compensation will be given to Fang Tian. Qin Fei sighed. Can you take me to see him? Yang Ming nodded after listening. He knew that this was a historical issue. It had nothing to do with Bureau Chief Wang and Qin Fei. The mastermind of this matter had been sentenced. Right. Qin Fei started the car and arrived at an old-fashioned residential area after a few turns. This was probably the last shanty town in the city. Qin Fei parked the car on the side of the road and said, let's go down. This is a small road. The car can't go in. Yang Ming nodded and got off the car with Qin Fei. Wasn't Fang Tian a big boss in the past? Why is he living in such a shabby place? This was his old house before he got rich. After he got rich, he moved away. However, all of his assets were taken away by his wife, leaving only this old house behind, Qin Fei explained. Qin Fei said it simply, but Yang Ming could imagine the bloody storm in the past. When they came to the door of a small bungalow, Qin Fei knocked on the door. After a while, the door opened with a creak. Fang Tian was standing inside the door. Old Master Fang, I brought someone to see you, Qin Fei said. Fang Tian nodded and didn't say anything. As he was about to turn around and enter the house, Yang Ming suddenly shouted, Old Master Fang, don't you recognize me? Just now, Fang Tian thought that Qin Fei brought someone from the police station to understand the situation, so he wasn't very enthusiastic. He didn't even look at him. When he heard Yang Ming's voice, Fang Tian suddenly turned around. When he saw Yang Ming, his eyes were slightly happy. It's you. Come in and sit. Fang Tian already knew from Qin Fei that it was Yang Ming who used to be in the same cell as him who helped him out. That was why he was released, so he was very grateful to Yang Ming. Qin Fei smiled bitterly. This is the gap. Ahem. Yang Ming, what are you talking about? Yang Ming turned his head and saw Qin Mengyan staring at him with a sullen face. I asked for Zhang Bin's QQ number. Yang Ming didn't know how much Qin Mengyan heard, so he said vaguely. She swore secretly that she would never talk to Yang Ming again. Qin Mengyan's behavior made Yang Ming very surprised. What is she doing? What happened? You pissed off the class belle? Zhang Bin turned his head and looked at Yang Ming ambiguously. What was she pissed off about? I didn't say anything, right? Yang Ming shook his head. Hey, I say, buddy. When it comes to learning, I admit that you are definitely a genius. After working hard for a month, you jumped from the bottom to the top. I'm convinced. But when it comes to picking up girls, you can't do it. Zhang Bin winked at Yang Ming. How about it? Do you need me to analyze it for you? Can you do it? Yang Ming lowered his voice, but his eyes were staring at Qin Mengyan's direction. Looking down on me? You go and look at my QQ. How many girls are there? Then you will know if I am lying to you. Zhang Bin laughed. If you ask me, Qin Mengyan is definitely interested in you. Really? Yang Ming asked, but he was very happy in his heart. Of course. Do you think she really came to ask you questions? Zhang Bin asked mysteriously. I'm also wondering about this. Yang Ming nodded and signaled Zhang Bin to continue. That's it. Even you don't believe it. Zhang Bin continued. Even if she really didn't know, the reference answers were already sent last Friday. Do you think the study committee is so stupid that they can't even understand the reference answers? Yeah. This is the key to the problem. Yang Ming also thought of this, so he suspected that Qin Mengyan had a fever. Seeing Yang Ming nodding, Zhang Bin said proudly, Qin Mengyan is a girl. Do you think she is as thick-skinned as you? Of course she has to find a good reason to get close to you. Yeah. Yang Ming understood immediately after Zhang Bin said that. Yang Ming felt strange just now. Qin Mengyan actually took the initiative to look for him. Moreover, when she heard that he and Zhang Bin were discussing the girls in the video, she was angry with him. All these signs showed that Qin Mengyan definitely cared about him. Thinking of this, Yang Ming was very excited. It didn't mean that Qin Mengyan liked him, but at least she had a good impression of him. This was enough. Over time, the good impression would be upgraded to love over time. After the first class, Yang Ming, as usual, held a workbook in his hand and sat beside Qin Mengyan. The book in his hand was the latest trends in the college entrance examination that Qin Mengyan gave him. And how do you solve this question? Yang Ming pointed at a physical energy question and asked, Why are you here? Do you still need to ask me for the first place? Qin Mengyan said in a bad mood. This little girl is still angry. Yang Ming smiled and said, What's wrong, Mengyan? Are you angry? Why would I be angry? Qin Mengyan didn't even look at Yang Ming. She continued to read the book. You're angry that I was discussing the QQ video with Zhang Bin. Yang Ming finished and secretly looked at Qin Mengyan's reaction. Who's angry because of that? Sure enough, Qin Mengyan didn't react in time and was swayed by Yang Ming. Then why? Yang Ming continued to ask. But Qin Mengyan had already changed her words. I said, I'm not angry. Hey Mengyan, I know you're angry because of the question in the morning. Yang Ming shrugged and said, Actually, I got the first place this time purely by luck. In fact, my actual level is far worse than yours. What do you mean? Didn't Teacher Li already say that this is your real result? Qin Mengyan looked at Yang Ming with doubt. The unhappiness just now was all thrown to the back of her mind. It's true that this is my real result, but the day before the exam, I did a set of last year's joint exam questions. The questions on it were almost the same as this year's. So, I could get such a good result because of this. Teacher Li and the others are clear about it. Yang Ming repeated what he said in the office on Friday to Qin Mengyan. Really? Qin Mengyan asked with some doubt. But looking at her expression, she already believed Yang Ming's words. Don't you know my level? Although it improved a lot, it's impossible to get the first place. According to my results from last year's exam, I'm only at the 6th or 7th place. Yang Ming thought and said. This ranking was randomly made up by him. It couldn't be too far ahead or too far behind. So that's the case. Qin Mengyan nodded after listening. Indeed, if she thought about it carefully, Yang Ming's improvement was too strange. Yeah, so you actually asked me a question in the morning. How could I not be surprised? Yang Ming explained. Sorry I wronged you. Qin Mengyan said with some embarrassment. I thought you would ignore me after you got the first place. How could that be? My ranking was all because of you. Yang Ming scratched his head and said. Yang Ming's words made Qin Mengyan very happy. Because of the incident in the morning, Qin Mengyan was a little absent-minded in the class. Now her whole person was a lot more relaxed. Yang Ming knew that Qin Mengyan deliberately asked him in the morning, so he joked, Mengyan, which question are you asking me? Let me show you. If you really think I don't know. I just want to test you. Qin Mengyan certainly couldn't admit her real purpose. Really? After listening to Qin Mengyan's words, Yang Ming was more sure of Zhang Bin's words. What are you laughing at? Qin Mengyan felt that Yang Ming's smile was too strange, making her have some cold sweat on her back. Nothing. Right, Mengyan, what's your QQ? Yang Ming also felt that his smile was very easy to be misunderstood, so he quickly changed the topic. Me. I usually don't go online. It's XXXXX. Qin Mengyan told Yang Ming her QQ number. Yang Ming wrote it down and then walked to his seat. Suddenly, Yang Ming felt that there seemed to be a sharp gaze looking at him from behind. When he turned his head, he didn't find any abnormality. Yang Ming looked at Wang Jitao. This guy was sitting in his seat and talking with the table in front of him.